Good morning, everybody. I hope this video finds you well. Today I want to say a few words. Lately, I pay attention to the news like you all do, and it's pretty insane. The news is pretty insane. We've got the Ukraine. There was a NATO summit, and we got Zelensky attending. So he was a attendee at the NATO summit. Of course, that's a red line for Russia, and the European puppies, poodles, are all in for world war with Russia. They somehow think that they've got the means to defeat Russia. The idea was to create a regime change, and they're still believing it. So there's obviously delusion to a great extent going on in the West. Meanwhile, you've got the Middle East, and Israel is being pounded. And they attacked Iran under the delusion that they could start a regime change. Well, Iran's got a solid 6 months worth of missiles, and they are just pummeling. They are destroying the complete infrastructure of Israel, and they're not stopping for shit. Chinese are pragmatic people, and the delusions of the Taiwanese Independence Party or group is beginning to show some fractures. Why do I mention all this stuff? Because this delusion did not come out of somewhere. How can people see the videos, see the news reports, and repeat what they're saying? So there's a delusion, and I'm of the opinion that it's artificially induced. These poodles in Europe are under these delusions about the rest of the world, completely oblivious to what's going on in Africa, what's going on in China. These decisions by these policymakers, they're all delusional, thinking that they can cut off from China and continue manufacturing without any rare earths materials. And now they're trying to smuggle them out of China, and China is not having it. I saw a video here about bismuth. Something like 47 tons of it were trying to be smuggled out, labeled as something like shampoo or something ridiculous like that. Anyways, so there's these delusions. So you've got the upper tiers being controlled by delusions. I don't quite know whether it's, maybe they have probes like I have. If you become a leader and you're associated with the United States, you get ELF probes. And perhaps all these ELF probes are manipulating these people to be delusional. Perhaps. I don't know. Doesn't really matter to me. They can cause you to think in all kinds of ways. Maybe it's an upgraded type of probe, where I'm just an obsolete old Frankenstein. A majestic Frankenstein with ONI probes that are now obsolete. Could that be, huh? Anyways. So we have the entirety of the West convinced that China is this shithole, that kids work in factories, and people are so unhappy they're jumping off roofs. Roofs. Who knows? Delusion. And we are so manipulated. Humans tend to be like sheep, easily manipulated. And we don't even know we're being manipulated. I'm a fan of science fiction. As you well know, I've been putting science fiction stories in the Metallic Man daily posts now for some time. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. But have you noticed a lot of the newer, these are all the ones I've been doing lately are new independent writers, and there's a significant portion of LGBTQ stuff in there. It's almost like somebody funded an injection of LGBTQ into all new science fiction stories. At the same time, trying to find the old science fiction stories in bookstores is a very difficult thing to do. Used to be, they were everywhere. Anthologies here and anthologies there. You go to a bookstore, you won't be able to find any. You won't. They have disappeared. Somebody is, or something, or some organization, somebody with a lot of money is trying to rewrite the thought processes that people have, creating a nation under delusion. And speaking about science fiction, how do we know that this hasn't been going on since we were born? I was born and we had the space race. And through shows like Star Trek and science fiction, we always envisioned expanding out into the cosmos, donning spacesuits, building habitations where we would transport our Earth environment so us human forms, us human bodies, can live within these structures, travel to them within these protective bubbles as humans. That's the narrative that we grew up with. That's the narrative we believe. Star Trek tells us about how we expand out to space for peaceful purposes. Meanwhile, they do so in a ship called the Enterprise with photon torpedoes and phasers. And when they visit these planets, they go there with sidearms, sometimes long arms. It's very American, guys. Professing peace while you have the ability to take out an entire planet. So I think we've been propagandized. And if there's one thing I've learned in Majestic, well, actually, not through Majestic, through the Domain Commander, it's really quite simple. We can go anywhere in this universe. We just choose the form that is appropriate for where we go to. And people, it's not the human form. The human form is adaptable for this planet, which circles our star. But generally, for most of the species, they think our sun here is a little bit on the hot side, a little bit on the energetic side. They like something like K and M class stars, the slightly dimmer stars. Provides a more stable environment and lasts longer too. So what this means is that what I'm trying to get to is that a truly advanced civilization transports consciousness into biological containers. So they are universally distributed. They can go anywhere within the reality that they want. They take their consciousness, put it in a human body, take the consciousness out, put it in a dolphin's body, take it out, put it in a golem, as I talked about before, like Domain uses, or whatever. It does these things and experiences different elements of life through container swapping, not rockets that fly through the universe at below light speed. These subtle, everybody knows that you have to travel using a rocket ship, is one of the first things that shattered when I joined Majestic, when I went through the portal. You just use a portal to get where you want. The key is you just need to have a portal on the other side. Or do you? Even that. Even that little bit of bias is present. How many things do we assume are fixed that really aren't? If you were raised in a religious household, you would believe that you die and you can go either to heaven, hell, or purgatory, and that's it. If you're Hindu, I think it's Hindu, if you're from India, you believe you reincarnate and can reincarnate into anything. If you're an American politician, you believe that all that matters is becoming super wealthy right now. Who cares what happens later? Perception. Perception, perception, perception. And we all have these perceptions with us, and they handicap us in various ways. The delusion should be screaming at you right now, saying there is something fundamentally wrong with the leadership in the West. I don't know what it is, but it's fundamental. They are delusional, and that should be screaming at you, and you should be asking, why? And then, I have no answers, but it strongly suggests a master plan concocted by somebody or some organization, and it's on a death path. Okay, people, that's enough for today. Don't let delusions forge your life. Have a good one. Be kind to dogs and cats. Treat other people with decency. Do your affirmation campaigns. That is how you control your reality. Make it happen. Because I believe in you. Take care, people. Bye-bye.